Hello again and welcome to my Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition playthrough. Today we will have part number 49 and we will be back to the Twin Elms. In the last episode we went a little bit running around the Defense Bay, finished some small tasks and quests, and we are currently trying to find one NPC which I did not find at the Elmshore, so hopefully we'll find her somewhere else. But anyway, we are now back to Twin Elms and we continue. So, as always, first introduction of my party, and we are getting closer to level 14 for the last two characters. Anyway, we have some quests here in Heartsong. We will need to find one small house where should be some birds for one quest, and we need to get to the I forgot Elm's Reach and finish another quest, and depending on it deciding one not very nice task. The Anaphadan know of the intruder, they must act. And the nice one, not so nice one, think is this quest. And not anything about it is very nice, whatever you do. So I'm still thinking which solution to get. Okay, just out of curiosity I want to check inside here where is the kit, and we'll see what will happen inside. Hopefully just some talk. An ale. The hearth still smells of freshly cooked game. Grease spatters the blackened bricks. An Orlan baby lies in the crib, tiny and dark-furred. Though her eyes are closed with sleep, she squirms under the blanket and nuzzles the pillow. I'll leave for now. I just really don't like the option to sacrifice the kid. Okay, so let's try to find the birdcage. He will not let another bloodline lead his 3 task warriors. But I don't remember where exactly I've seen bird.
Hail, Estremor.
We meet again, Estremor. What is it you require? Dalem sent me to collect rare songbirds. She stares at you blankly for a moment before shaking her head. That fop Dalem sent you? No, absolutely not. Eating my beloved pet won't grant that full musical proofs. The only thing he'll get is an upset stomach and the pain of passing a beak. She folds her arm and frowns. There's a forest full of birds. Mine's not for sale. Why would Dylan believe that eating birds will help? Old folklore gone awry, she mutters, shrugging in resignation. Orlans, particularly those raised in the forests, still seem to believe that by eating noteworthy creatures, they can gain the desirable traits of their prey. It's false eating a spider doesn't give you 8 legs, and anymore eating ivy lets you sprout berries. Lancy sighs with resignation. If Dylan wants to be a better singer, he should try practice, not superstition. I agree. Killing your birds seems unnecessary. I will look elsewhere. Her face turns flushed as she smiles. I'm relieved you see it my way. How would you like it if someone demanded your cherished pet as a snack? Stop right there, Lance yells at your hand near the bird cage. Just what do you think you're doing with my bird? Dylan, chanter of old songs, sent me get a specimen of this type of bird. She stares at you blankly for a moment before shaking her head. That fop fellow sent you. There's a forest full of birds. Mine's not for sale. I agree. I will look elsewhere. Seeds and husks have scattered across the floor. Okay, so where we can find that bird? Huh. They keep it. We'll see. Okay, not taking it for now. We'll see if I can find that bird somewhere in the nature. Let's check this one just in case. I doubt there will be something inside, but you never know. Nothing there. Okay, I think I will go for Northwell before continuing to do anything inside with more quests. We'll see how difficult this area will be.
I'm so tired I'd pay brothel rates just to nap.
The figurine. It's glowing.
I arrived at the Northweald wilderness where Svinet's expedition should be making camp, besides the pilgrim's trail leading to Hyla's temple. I am to warn them that Glanfathan scouts are on their trail. I arrived to the Northweald. It is where Fjorm and Arton journeyed to hunt a fabled giant Stelgar, where I might find clues to the events that transpired during their hunt. I arrived at Northweald, a forest outside of Twin Elms. The steps leading up to the nest are carved in the steep cliffs that border the northern edge of this wilderness. And Sagan is speaking about the figurine is glowing, so that means
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
here is the next step of her personal quest. So, Beralt, an Aderan dignitary, has arrived at the stronghold. He requests your aid with an upcoming meeting with a representative of the Fisher Crane tribe near the Thainbog. He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. So, we have 8 days to meet with the prestigious visitor. Okay, let's start a little bit with checking around what we can find here or not. One bird should be here in Northweald as well, if I remember it correctly. Wolf leader. Stun him and... where are you? Tracks long and shallow head east, they're sparkled with blood. Okay, how... let's
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
try to kill him.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
Oh?
Good.
Am I the only one here starting to nod off? The break might be in order.
Seven more kills with the crossbow. Tracks long and shallow head east, they're specked with blood.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Arrows screwed and fletched with bright feathers protrude from the corpse. I found the ruins where Svinet's expedition camped. There are signs of battle everywhere, tracks on the ground run directly east, probably made by the expedition while retreating from the battle. Also, we will have some bounty here as well. The inscription on this altar, almost unreadable under a layer of thick moss, pay homage to Hylia. The tracks and blood signs continue further east. This spear, broken in half, has ornate glenfetten etchings along the two halves of its shaft. The wet wood shows then stained green with moss, probably from impacts against the river rocks. The tracks and buildings continue further east. So let's go further east as well. Over here, hurry! What does the Swinet doing here? Swinet hides in the tall underbrush. Twigs poke out of her hair. Clunks of dried mud clings waist high to her leather leggings. Quiet. Keep low. Take a look. She points up to the ridge. My friends are up there, over the lip of the hill. There were signs of the battle at the camp. Swinet nods, her lower lip crushed beneath her teeth. I wasn't fast enough. Pox-ridden fangs. Magran burned them all. How did the fangs get here? Swinet looks down to her feet, shaking her head slowly. I cut a decoy path, set false campfires, and dusted over every footprint I could find. It didn't slow them much. What's going on? The fangs must have caught the scent and rushed the group. She begins to run her gloved fingers over her hair and stops. The pressure snaps one of the twigs stuck on her black curls. Some of my friends are still alive, but the fangs have them surrounded. The expedition. Swinet brings her hand back to the pommel of the stock, or what remains of it, has taken cover in some ruins above these cliffs. The fangs must be toying with them, or letting them starve a bit before the next attack. We need to act, or they're as good as that. I'll see what I can do. Swinet nods. Maybe you can find a way around the fangs. There's got to be another way up to that ridge. She wipes away the sweat from her brow, her glow leaving behind a dirty smudge. You aren't dressed like my men. Perhaps you could try talking to the fangs? They might not think you're with us. She grabs your hand, squeezing it. Please, help. I already have enough friends to bury. Swinet releases your hand and crouches down into the vegetation, blending back into the brush. I found the expedition in the eastern Northweald. They are entrenched by the remains of an old and wooden tower above the wood's narrow gorge. A score of Glenfetten fangs have surrounded the deadwood and waiting for the right time to strike their prey down.
I'm on the trail.
This leatherback is belongings. This leatherback, its belongings wash down the current of the river, gleams like a wet rock.
Yeah.
Othek Worthen Rock!
Gotta try.
You try to knock down him. And let's go. Here. Oh.
Am I
Looks
the
like
only one here starting to nod off? The break might be in order.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
Certainly.
this boot lies half buried in mud on the riverbank, as if it had been flushed from upstream. Interesting. Oh, another forest lurking is killing boars.
Spot on!
And let's try to kill him.
My mind feels sharp as steel.
More height.
On the hunt. Certainly.
Let's see what is dropped here on top of the river. Because it looks a little bit suspicious to me, to be honest. All the... Oh,
Let the Catman sniff out any trouble.
beneath the raging waterfall, the corpse of an elven Glenfather hunter lies shattered against the rocks. Broken bones protrude through its skin, but you also notice deep parallel cuts in the rotting flesh. The slashes traces almost every part of the body, as if it had been ravaged by a dozen blades. This man probably died before his fall from the cliffs above. You touch the dead elf's forehead, droplets of water glistening down its purple surface, and feel a sudden jolt from the hunter's lingering essence. The world around you fades away. You're walking among the underbrush without making a sound. Moonlight catches sight of your arms, shining them pale, but you quickly dart again into the shadows of the giant trees of the Northweald. Your blood brother is not so deft as you expected. Look at him, frail, unaware. He doesn't deserve to share the glory of his hunt. It's been countless seasons since a Stelgar like this one, twice the size of his lesser kin, has roamed the forests near Twin Elms. Arton fell for the trick. You almost feel pity for him, but you convinced yourself that he'd only get in the way once the killing begins. He'll be safer by the river, expecting that we'll flank the Stelgar when it comes out to drink, but this kill will be only yours. The Stelgar is larger than you imagined. It stands without fear atop the waterfall's ridge, its silhouette cutting a monstrous hole against the mantle of the night sky. A beast of legend, a true hunter. Your hand tightens around the shaft of your father's spear. The weight feels balanced, just right as you prepare the throw. You put everything into it. The spear flies through and hits its mark. The Stelgar didn't even hear a sound. Its blood spills bright on the rocks, yet it stands unfazed. The beast pounces, moonlight shines over its great fangs. Your hand drawn your blades. Without a second thought, as you lunge towards to meet this monster. It's fast. It's ripping your flesh apart. You step at the darkness engulfing you, deep, again and again. But there is no slowing its embrace. I found Fjorm's corpse. His lingering essence revealed part of his last memories. In trying to kill the giant Stelgar by himself, Fjorm tricked Artem and fought a creature around, dying in the attempt. Although I now have enough evidence about Fjorm's fate, perhaps there's more I can learn about the events that surround his death.
And what does the flame reveal?
Okay. Let's go here again.
To whispers and shadows.
Just in any case, just quick save and move forward. and we'll see what we can find. No, here are the Fangs, Wilders.
Tread carefully, Estramore.
An elven woman stands beside a stack, petting the great beast on its neck. As you approach, the animal jerks its head in your direction and rears up. Stillness. The woman orders the stack, putting on the skin of the stag's neck until it ceases to buck. Easy now. No need to fight. Yet. She turns to face you. One ear is missing its top half, and many battle scars raise her otherwise smooth skin. More foreigners, more unclean feet trampling on our lands, more blood to feed the trees. She shakes her head. You should not be here, Estramor. Her hand moves to one of several blades strapped to her hips. If you are here in our lands, it is either to steal from us or to aid those who would. She gestures to the north, at the ruins of Engwitan building protruding from the underbrush. Dear wooden mercenaries, looters, can you hear their panicked worshippers? Can you hear their panic whispers? Leave this place at once, or we kill you when we finish with this Estramorm. I'm a friend of Fair Glenfath. She holds her gaze on you. The great stag stomps in front hooves on the ground and turns to its masters. Do you speak the truth, foreigner? If you are indeed a friend, you would respect our lands and not defile our sacred soil with your trespass. The woman clenches her jaw, its muscles quiver under the pressure until suddenly calm returns to her expression. If you have no bonds or of kin or kith with the looters, I will give you a chance to prove it. She draws one of her swords and, with a swift arching motion, points it to the ruins beyond. The invaders must be purged from our lands. Prove your worth, and we will believe your words. Tell me about these mercenaries. Raiders, looters, same as all the other Dirwooden thieves that pillage our lands. The woman touches the oblique step where half of her ear used to be. We tracked the Dirwooden from their first step beyond the great river and waited for them to err. They always do. We claimed half their pack in our first assault. The cowards that run now huddle to the north. When the wind turns, you will smell their fear. If they surrender, will you let them live? Softness, such as yours, will not bring them to heel. Their greed knows no bounds, their memory honors no history. What use have we of prisoners? What example do we set to others by letting them live? She shakes her head. Why would we forgive again? Hmm. Maybe I will go back before continuing this quest. We'll see. I want to ask you about something else. Why don't you deal with them yourself? The woman runs a finger along her lower lip, looking at you through narrowed eyes. I give you an order. Accept it if like a grown hunter, or refuse it like a mewling child. But do not question my will. I'll see what I can do. The elven woman sheathes her sword and reaches to her stack. The animal lowers its head to meet the caresses of her hand. Gentle, strong. We wait here to welcome you back as warrior and friend. I've met an elven woman, a huntress with the fangs, leader of the Glenfattan who tracked Svinet's expedition. She wants me to deal with the Deerwoodens to prove that I am a friend of Air Glenfath and not another looter from Deerwood. Well, this could be a little bit
Silence surrounds me.
tough, so we'll see.
What brings you here?
Your path lies ahead, foreigner. Deal with the Deerwooden mercenaries and prove your worth to us. I will do as you request.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
It really looks like if enough reputation I could do this calmly. Let's check. Ally. We might get one more level by finishing some quests. Let's see. Here are the mercenary soldiers. I want to get here, so I'll probably check this before and come here back when I get a little bit more reputation within Elms. I really don't want to kill any of the groups.
Be cautious. Be constant.
Oh. What a big group. Let's do it this way.
Curses! I'm blinder than a horcrux's bat! I the only one here starting to nod off? A break might be in order.
What was that? I aided the Irwooden expedition. They are safe from immediate harm. Swinet waits on the southern edge of the Northweald to know of their fate. With the path cleared, I can let Estmar know that it's safe for his men to escape the forest. Interesting. I didn't expect this.
I'll stay out of sight.
Looks like I will go and talk to the guys a little bit later.
Let us end this!
No, no, no.
Offset Worthen!
My mom.
Spot on!
Slowly now.
Oh. Over a ground hardened by dry blood and stomped leaves, the corpse of a giant stelgar crawls with flies. Its flesh has been pierced and cut, as if stabbed by spears and slashed by swords. You touch the dead stelgar's flank, a cloud of flies stirs into the air, and suddenly you feel the creature's remaining essence. The world around fades away. The pack rests, rocks shelter the young fool Belize. You turn away and look beyond the trees. The moon breaks over their swaying canopy. A sand in the air stirs a tingling in your mouth. You slide into the shadows, that taste of hunt filling your nostrils. Light shines on the stones by the water that falls. Prey down below. Two-legged hair like dry grass. It moves near the water that flows. Thin legs, slow, noisy, unaware. It holds a sharp stick. Two-legged hunter, weak hunter, prey. Closer prey, bright moon, prey into the dark. Pain. Pain on your side. A sharp stick pokes out of your flank. You roar and shake it. It snaps, breaking on the stones. Wet stones. Your blood leaves a rustle. You look. Another two-legged, another hunter. Thick legs, silent steps, stripped face, strong hunter, enemy. You leap, aiming at its neck. It moves fast. Your claws find flesh, ripping it deep, ripping it down. Wet leaves, two-legged blood. It howls. It fights back. Long claws cut through the air. They slash at your flesh. More pain, sharp pain. You strike. It strikes. Hot blood on your claws. Hot cuts on your chest. The world goes red. Your strength fails. You can't breathe. The two-legged hunter looks down. Wet ground, our blood. Sharp stick above its head, bright moon above its head, strong hunter. The world goes dark. I found the corpse of giant stelgar. It stalked out of the waterfall and spotted Arton below. Then another elf, almost assuredly firm, gravely wounded it with a spear. The stelgar fought to save its life, but died in the resulting battle. Interesting.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
So the stelgar died without the small fighter, the Artem, or what is called it, joined the fight. And we will need to report this.
On the hunt.
You come upon a clearing and see a group of Glenfathans standing in a circle. Sagani glances from the other statue to the hunters, looking for a connection. Meanwhile, the hunters turn and notice you. Their bows are drawn. What are you doing here?
You mock us? Even the keepers of the stone will honor us after this hunt.
They step aside and turn to you, and as they do, you see something on the ground behind them. Lying amidst the ferns is a white stag. Dark blood mars its brilliant coat, and its sides tremble with quick, shallow breaths. You feel a presence in the beast, something ancient and familiar, before you can speak. Something thump to the ground. You go down and you look down and see the Adra bear, its bright glow flickering.
Arc's shadow.
Sagani drowses beside you, her wide eyes fixed on the dying stag. Her mind full of pain to have journeyed so long and found this. One of the hunters takes a step forward and Sagani raises her bow and arrow nocked.
Any closer and you'll bleed out next to him.
Her voice is low and tremulous.
I never thought I'd prepared myself to meet a stranger. To share the honor and history of my village with someone who had no knowledge of us. Even someone who'd scorn our way of life.
If you're going to this, you have to hurry.
I was going to tell him about the years of abundance in Masuk. How his granddaughters have hunted caribou, and his grandsons made our walls strong. But he'll be gone in minutes.
Trust your instincts.
There's no point to any of this, is there?
She kneels by the fallen stag, placing her hand on its head. She begins speaking. Her voice is steady and measured, and her words are guttural and unfamiliar. At first, you think she is reciting a poem in her native language. After a moment, you realize that she is listing the names of every person in her village. At last, you hear her speak her own name. The stag takes a final shuddering breath and falls still.
If you've finished your chanting, we need to get to work before the meat spoils.
Did your elders teach you even a mouse dropping's worth of decency? There will be other kills to dress and eat, but there will only be this one chance for Sagani to say her due respects.
She looks up, and for a moment horror and anger flash through her eyes. But as she looks at the dead deer, she shrugs and turns, leaving the lusterless Adra figure in the dirt.
I've finished what I came to do. Let's go.
Leave. We finally found Persok. He was a stag and he'd been wounded by hunters. Sagani seemed to realize that this was merely a ritual for the comfort of her people back in Masuk. She recited the names of her fellow villagers, but I think she found the entire act rather meaningless. Oh.
Quiet.
Too bad. On your way. This is our blessing from the clever hound. On your way. Okay, here is a cave. So the quest ended up a little bit disappointing. I was probably fooled to trust her instinct as well, so hopefully she will not be as pissed as some other characters.
I'll take a look.
So let's go into the cave.
Yeah! Spot on!
I'm
Oh, hit him down.
That didn't work! Need to try.
Okay, here another kill for her. Hopefully. Good.
Need to try something else.
Okay, too slow.
Am I the only one here starting to nod off? The break might be in order.
Three more kills, okay.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them.
Certainly.
Corrupted droid. I think we have found the goal of the bounty.
Off.
Okay, too many druids. So let's go one by one. You drop him. And you stun Dunven. Let's go against him, and you try to do this. Okay, we have this. So let's do it. You kill him until go ahead. Green kick. Let's stun him again.
My mind feels sharp as ever.
Okay, we got a little bit owned by their spells, but Grieving Mother needs to do one more kill, yes.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Certainly.
Oh, here is her head. Divine has been slain, and I need but bring her head to Warden Fergin at the lodge in Kedno to receive my reward. How much did we lost? Oh, no, 100. Sneak attack bonus. Exceptional. Let's see. These boots will probably go to... How's his name? Oh, Devil of Karok. Okay. The cave is clear.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places. Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
So let's try to find maybe the bird somewhere, but I have absolutely no clue where it could be.
Silence surrounds me.
To whispers and shadows.
So let's go against the bear. She killed the bear, so we should have enough now for her weapon. Deal 300 damages to frightened enemies with Twin Sting, or deal 1500. I think the easier would be this 1500.
To whispers and shadows.
Still no way found to Temple of Hylia. Where are you? Here.
Your thoughts must be weak.
The Paru.
My mind feels sharp as silver.
Am I the only one here starting to nod off? A break might be in order.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
The clouds above the cliffs of the Northweald reflect on the iridescent surface of this pillar of Adra. Let's go to the nest. Just in case, quick save. A winding stair hugs the cliffside, providing an impressive view as you work your way higher and higher. Not too far along the path, however, you find your progress interrupted. A large boulder appears to have fallen onto the road from somewhere up above, and it now sits squarely in your way. Examine the area. The boulder is nearly flush with the cliff face, preventing you from passing by on that side. Along the edge of the cliff, however, there is a narrow space just wide enough to follow across to the other side. The boulder's landing has crushed the steps beneath it, however. Use a hammer and chisel to clear the way. Chiseling away the boulder proves a slow and wearing endeavor, especially when several sections of the boulder prove too hard to carve through, forcing you to aim elsewhere. After a long while, your efforts pay off and the sections of the boulder splits away. You hear the echoing clatter of the rocks tumbling down the side of the cliff. The sound seems to stir something overhead. A shadow crosses the path, quick as lightning, and vanishes before you can catch a glimpse of what has cast it. But you do see the rapidly growing silhouettes of several more rocks flung down at you from above. Scrambling to action, the party ducks under a small rocky protrusion along the cliff face, but Mammalian stumbles and is left just short of shelter. A sudden hailstorm of fist-sized rocks and scattered debris rains down upon them. Battered and bruised, Mammalian leaps the final distance to safety. After a short while, the thundering rumble of falling stones fades away. Your ordeal past, you continue your climb, and the rest of the journey proceeds without incident. At last, you find yourself at the base of a final twisting of a steps, above which you can see the towering pillars of Hylia's nest. I've reached the peak of the mountains and Hylia's temple. Something very rare has been here recently.
On the hunt.
Okay, let's check it a little bit, but I'm a little bit afraid we get owned by the dragon, which we are. Oh, he really got owned by the stones. And we have Cloud Singer Songbird. So this is the second. I caught a beautiful cloud singer atop a mountain by the temple of Hylia. So we still need the Tiam. We'll see if some other Glenfattens have it or only the single one, because I really don't to get his pet away.
I'm on the trail.
Let's do it this way.
Silence surrounds me.
Have a moment to talk?
by complete accident, I have upgraded my Stormcaller. I completely forgot that I need to rest in the lair of a Sky Dragon to improve it by 1 level. And I have all symbol upgrades now completed. And he has really nice damage now. Perfect. Now, we need to talk with Sagani and Grieving Mother now. So let's talk to Grieving Mother first. Quick save. As you turn to the grieving mother, you find her already at your side. A question rises to the surface of her mind like a bubble from the depths, yet her eyes are cast down.
There is something I would ask of you, Watcher. A burden I would relieve. Yet, even the asking is a burden of another kind.
I cannot help if you don't tell me what troubles you.
The memories of the birthing bell, the hollowborn, the mothers. I live in horror now at the lives I could not save, and the lives I bound in ignorance. My days are waking dreams. It feels as though the souls I've wronged have fled the cycle to haunt me. Please, Watcher. I tried once to forget, and yet echoes still tormented my soul. But if you were to cleanse my soul of the memory, I could at last be free of it. Will you grant me this?
How this will affect you? Will you even be the same person?
I will be the same, only free of the memory. My allegiance, my skill, these will still be dedicated to our cause, to your aid.
No, the memory is both a penance and a lesson. She stiffens as if struck. At last, her shoulders slump, and she looks back to you.
But these memories, the pain, anger, brokenness, how am I to continue when these thoughts fill my mind?
It is a part of who you are now. Changing your memory will change you.
This is a difficult truth, but truth nonetheless. I thank you for your aid, Watcher, even if it is difficult to bear.
Forever. And Sagani.
A deer in the middle of Air Glonfoth. And I wasted 5 years looking for it.
She doesn't seem to notice as Itumak licks her hand. Surely you gained something from the experience. She laughs hollowly. Besides corns and the bad case of spotted fever?
I can't help but wonder what any of this meant. Whether Persok's life with us even mattered when it could be covered up like tracks under new snow.
Civilizations are built upon the choices and passions of the individuals from one lifetime to the next. Every life is meaningful.
Maybe you're right. But from down here, it's hard to see those designs. Enough about me. How about you? Do you feel like you understand the purpose of your search for Theos?
I'm still not sure.
I hope you find your reason, Watcher. And I hope it brings you comfort, whatever it is. Anyway, Theos isn't getting any closer. I suppose we'd best keep after him.
I'd like to ask so about something else. What's on your mind? Let's move on. Okay. So we have a few more
Oh?
My thoughts will be as silent
quests
as my feet.
finished, and we will take in the next opportunity another party members.
Quiet.
But let's check if we will see anything up here. The edges of the bones are brittle and blackened.
Sweet mother of Gallowayne! That's an impressive beast! Think we can slay it?
As you reach the summit of the mountain, a gust of wind stirs the air. You hear a noise like the snapping of sails, and the sky is briefly blotted out. A dragon lands before you, shaking the ground beneath your feet. It draws itself up to its full height and spreads its wings, barring your passage. Its neck, its back, and the ridge of its spine are covered with magnificent plumage. It hisses at you, and while the sound is unlike any language you ever heard, the beast's meaning is utterly clear.
Vermin invading my nest, threatening my hatchling. You shall feed my young.
A small worm crouches in the corner of the temple behind the dragon. Be careful, Watcher. Her mind is on edge, not with hunger, but with fear. There is little more dangerous than a mother defending her offspring. You have a young here?
I will protect my last hatchling to the death! And that death will be yours, rodent.
Hylia is the goddess of motherhood, actually.
And of the sky and all winged creatures. Even my kind know of her.
Is that why you came here?
I came to care for my remaining hatchling. My kind requires territory. Few places are safe for our young. This is a lesson that cost me the rest of my brood.
Then you should stay. Raising your offspring here would honor Hylia.
So be it. Go then, and with my thanks.
The grieving mother's eyes are warm, approving. Truly, you are full of surprises and rare insights. I decided to let the dragon and Wyrmling stay in Hyla's temple. It seemed to me that the goddess of light and motherhood would value the lives of these creatures too. Hopefully, the goddess will understand my perspective. I can pray to her at Terevron.
On the hunt.
The edges of the bones are brittle and blackened. Everything here is looting. I just want to see what's there. Might +3. Oh. Okay, let's go back to Twilm Elms and see what the people at Hyla will tell to me, the priest of Hyla.
We saw you go up the mountain. Well, what happened?
She means to say that we're both very relieved to see you're safe.
Yes, of course, that too.
I decided to let the dragon and its young stay in the nest.
Are you insane? There's no telling how many kit those monsters will kill. How could you let them live?
If the Queen of Birds saw fit to conceive such a creature in her own skies, then who are we to destroy it? This is not the outcome I have prayed for, but perhaps it is Helia's will nonetheless. Perhaps speaking to her at Terevron will illuminate the matter.
Goodbye. Kasvat and Onwen were less than pleased with my decision to let the creature stay. Still, perhaps Hylia will see things differently. So, let's see what kind of quest we still have. Okay, let's get back a little bit here to Elm's Reach and speak about what happened at the Northweald. Let's talk to the offenders first. Nobody knows his powers. Not the Delmangar nor us. We'll hunt him down wherever he hides. Let's see. No. I'm still here. Ask anything you must have. My tribesmen have told me that you speak the truth about Fjorm's exiles. He spares stubble, darting a glance to the elven woman. Well, Arton doesn't hide from the truth. Ask, and I'll answer. I know you're lying. Fjorm tricked you and fought the Stelgar alone. They killed each other. The hunter-white smile retreats behind his uneven stubble. I never. His skin reddens through the patches of fuzz as he stumbles forwards. The elven woman takes a step back, staring at Arton with her mouth open in disbelief. You wouldn't. She quickly looks at you and then turns back to the hunter. Do you understand that the tribes will think of us? Of our people? Her burst shakes Arton out of his standstill. They already step on us as if we were filthy maggots. We're the twice split arrows. We're broken. The huntress lowers her head, and he turns back to you. A look of despair maddens his eyes. They have history, glory, and they spit on us who have nothing. He reaches out his hands, trembling, as if afraid to touch you. Foreigner, please. The other says you're kind and merciful. Speak the truth that would set us free, I beg you. Hmm. Okay, let's go with the benevolent. Your tribe deserves hopes, and I may just help you with that. Arton bites his lips. A drop of saliva glistens on his golden stubble. He wipes it with the back of his hand and gives you a supplicant look. For the sake of my people, speak for us to the Anamenfath. Speak the. His eyes dart to the side as if pointing to the elven woman behind him. For us, speak your truth. Okay, let's check these two homes if we can find any bird there. And let's walk around here. Oh. Nothing. Nothing.
Hmm?
I miss that. The beard is nowhere around.
Certainly.
Okay, so let's go. What's that size and the made no difference for awareness? Okay. Anyway, let's go here to the hearing of the six. And We'll see what quests that will be. It's time to stalk, not attack. Let's talk to Ridai.
Estremor?
You returned. He glances at the hunters in the group. We hope you found the truth about my brother's fate. I've concluded my task. It's time to speak with the Anamenfath. What did you see? Where's Fjorm? Ridai takes a step forward. Tell me. Ridai, the huntress thrusts her palm between you and her companion. The truth belongs to all of us. Even Artem. You know this. Ridai hesitates for a moment. He wipes the sweat off his face, leaving traces of red paint on his hand. I'm ready to share the truth with the animate Fath. He looks up, and I'll make sure that so is Artem. I've decided to speak with the Anamphadath in the passage of the Six of Twin Elms to explain the events surrounding the disappearance of Fjorm during his blood hunt with Artem. Our paths cross again, Gals and Anams. I've been investigating Fjorm's disappearance. Indeed, Artem and Ridai have spoken of little else. I do not envy your position, Galos and Anams, yet your testimony may resolve the tensions between the Keepers of the Stone and the twice-split arrows. She steeples her fingers. When you gathered your evidence, I call a hearing. Let's begin. She nods. I will summon Artem and Ridai. Their fates and the names of their tribes depend on what you will reveal to us, Gauls and Anams. Bethel stands at the head of the hall, lit from behind the dozens of candles. She casts a long shadow across the floor. We've gathered to wait the claims of Artem and Ridai in the matter of Fjorm's disappearance. To that end, we are honored by the presence of Galus and Anams, whose insight will help us render a verdict. Murmurs of astonishment echo from the front of the hut. We begin with Artem's claim. He asserts that Fjorm lured him into a confrontation with the Stelgar and that he slew the beast on his own. Fjorm, he says, exiled himself, featuring the knowledge of his actions would heap shame on the Keepers of the Stone. She holds up a tooth as long as her arm. As evidence, he brings a fang from the great Stelgar. On the other hand, Ridai states that his brother was tricked and murdered by Artem during the hunt. A hunter of Bjorn's renown would not have fallen in the blood hunt, but by treachery. Her shadow flickers and dances in the candlelight as she looks at you, and now we turn to our Galosad Rams. We ask only that you share your observations, that we may find closure for these two tribes. She lowers her head. What fate befell Fjorm? Fjorm is dead. What? Riday stares at you, his face contorted between surprise and anger. He turns to Artem. How? You penny weakling. How? The Anam the Anamenfath whips her neck towards the tribesman. Do not forget your place. Ridai's chest balloons, but he quickly lowers his chin in obedience. Artem's eyes dart from side to side. The Anamenfath continues. It's saddened us to know this truth, but we must still reveal it deeper. If this is so, how did he gain Stel? If this is so, how did the giant Stelgar die? Artem killed the giant beast. Artem strides his back, lifting up his stubbly chin. There, you have it. I claimed that victory. He looks around the hall. You didn't expect such a feat from Twice Split Arrow, did you? Fur bristles along Beatrice's arms. Silence. Her slit pupils are narrows as she regards you. And now we come to it. Claim the truth for the six tribes, Gallows and Arms. Fjorm tricked Artem and fought the Stelgar by himself. He died in the battle against the giant creature. Artem avenged Fjorm and then tried to cover his shameful actions. Your words echo along the passage of the six to the solemn audience. Basil nods. It is as you say. We thank you for sharing your truth with us. The Anamenfath turns to Arton and Ridai. Brothers of the tribes, let these wounds mend. Go in peace and contemplate the shame brought into our hearth. Estramor, please, let me speak with you. I spoken before the Anamenfath about what happened in the blood hunt between Fjorm and Artem. Following the outcome of my investigation, Artem asked me to speak with him. Artem avoids looking at you directly as you approach. Scratching his patchy stubble, he searched the ground as if for an answer. I don't know how or why, but you came when we most needed a friend. Our hope remains thanks to you. The hunter looks up, his smile beams from one reddened ear to the other. My tribe will never forget what you've done for us. I'll never forget. Please, I know it's a humble token, not worth that what you've given us. Arton unwraps an elegant bundle of animal skins. We have very little, but here's one of our finest weapons, fit for the best hunters in Ergelenfad. Take it, and do the twice split arrows this one more honor. The hunter bows and turns around. After a few long strides, Arton glances back, a wide smile sparkling across his patched golden face. I've concluded my investigation of Fjorm's disappearance and presented my position to Anamenfath. Artem's story was deemed true, casting him a great hero. Okay, we have one more quest. The colorful clothing of Spirentan weaver Bonicetta is known throughout the Eastern Reach. Over a year ago, she was on a trip to Defiance Bay when her ship sank in a violent storm just off of the Pearl Coast. Miraculously, many of the passengers have survived. Bonicetta's body was never found and she was presumed to have died. However, a whaling merchant in Defiance Bay recently recognized some of Bonicetta's unmistakable work in an otherwise unremarkable shipment of textiles. He spoke with others and learned that several shipments to different merchants bore the same telltale patterns. Now, many merchants believe that Bonicetta is being held captive somewhere and is trying to communicate through her work. Whatever the message is, none have been able to decipher it. nor where it's coming from. So let's put Eder to the quest. What we got? Hunting bow. Masuk hunting bow or Lena's Air. Much better this one. And we have this. Oh, I saw one more thing. This. Should be enough. Okay. Just in case, let's talk to Adamant Path. All paths cross again, girls and Mass forever. So, how is our ally? We still could need a little bit better. Let's go to the inn. You speak like an honorable man from the Fishing Crane tribe. Let's go to the inn. Let's check a little bit fast if there is a chance that the last bird is somewhere in the inn, and if not, I will probably need to finish it for today. Thank you for learning the details of our fallen brother. Now, if you will please leave us be. Let's check what we have here. Ah, nothing special. Okay, no bird here, so yeah. this will be it for today. Definitely. Oh yeah, so yes, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it today as much as I did. And if you like it, just feel free to follow me on Twitch or on Mixer, and maybe subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can find my videos from the whole playthrough. Anyway, thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, my English sometimes splits my tongue. See you.